Still waiting for a big smile out of you. You're up 2-0. What's the story? Are you not happy, or you're only half happy, or?
Still to be happy about.
You're up 2-0.
Job's not finished. Job finished? I don't think so.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Rick's BLAZIN takes. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you here with me. I appreciate that. So without further ado, let's get right into it.
Yes, sir. Let's get right into it. What's up, SimWorld? This is Rick Blaze coming at you live and direct. Another episode of Rick's BLAZIN takes. Happy New Year to everyone. I'm excited about the new year. I'm excited about what I'm going to be talking about today. So, of course, hey, Carl. Let's talk about it. All right, so I want to get into it. I have 3 blazing hot topics I want to get into. But first, before I get into that, you know I'm going to bring it. You know it's going to be hot. It's going to be controversial. So I have to put this out here first.
The following comments are views and expressions made by Rick and Rick alone and are not necessarily those of SimWorld. If you are too serious, sensitive, easily startled, weak stomach mama's boy, or Cowboys fan, you may want to turn off. If you've been recently dumped, eat pizza with a fork, love good times, ranch dressing, and Jason Statham movies, you may want to turn off. If you use the word conversate in actual conversation, you may want to turn off at this time. Thank you.
All right. Now that we got that out of the way, those who need to turn off is already turned off. Can we get to it? I want to start off with my first topic, blazing hot topic number 1.
BLAZIN hot take number 1.
And that is the Jackson 6. Apparently there are 6 Jacksons, famous Jacksons. We have Tito, Marlon, Michael, Jackie, Jermaine, and the 6th one is Kevon Jackson for the Cascadia. Yes, he's apparently one of the 6 Jacksons. Kevon Jackson has been doing his thing for Cascadia, has been leading his team Cascadia to a 5-0 record, averaging 20 points. I'm rounding up. 20 points, 5 rebounds, and 3 assists a game, and shooting 57% from the field. So he's not just chucking it. He's making it count. He is who what I didn't think he was going to be. I thought he was just a dunker, nicknamed the dunk guard. I thought he was no more than an occasional highlight reel from time to time. Oh, boy, was I wrong. See, I'm the guy who likes his credit when he's right, but I'm also the guy who will admit when he's wrong, unlike a lot of you peons. When you're right, you're screaming to the top of the mountains, and when you're wrong, you go hiding and ducking. No. I'm going to keep you that same energy. If I'm right, you know I want to hear it. And if I'm wrong, I'll let you know. I was completely wrong about the Kevon Jackson and his game. He's grown this game tremendously. I think he's lifted this team. And I want to give some credit to the coach. I'm going to get to that in a moment. But Kevon Jackson, my brother, come get your flowers. They're well deserved. You are playing well, and he is a top 10 player right now in the league. I don't know what you guys are putting on the rankings, but if Kevon Jackson is not top 10, then your rankings are wrong. And you know how further let you know that it's Kevon Jackson? Look at rain trades this season. And look at Kevon Jackson's team. Is it Kevon? I got to get it right now. I have to get it right. Raymond Trace is going dumpster searching. They're in the dumpster. They're sitting right next to Heathcliff and his guys right now. It's Raymond Trace and Heathcliff. They're all right in the dumpster together. Raymond Trace is in a bad way, in a bad shape. And the biggest change about the team from last year to this year, Kevon Jackson. Now, Kevon Jackson's on Cascadia's side, they have a little more talent, of course. I will give them that credit. But, hey, the proof is in the pudding, baby. It is what it is. All right, moving on.
Number 2.
All right, the second thing I want to talk about is the coaches. I have what I believe are my top 3 coaches right now in SimWorld. And it may not be who you think I'm going to choose. First, I alluded to it earlier. I got to go with Coach Isaiah Pope for Cascadia. 5-0 team. And, you know, we all thought the sky was falling when King Arthur left. And, again, I'll tell you about the Kevon Jackson on my perspective. Tyree Wells didn't look great in the offseason at the practices. I remember seeing that. I remember saying that. I do love Daniel Irving, but he's gotten a lot of Holbrook, right? He's the team he's constructed. I have to give him credit. He's gotten these guys to buy into his system, and they're balling right now. And the teams that they have beat are really, really good teams. They are balling right now. I can honestly say I think no one saw Cascade have been 5-0 in the first 5 games before the season started. If you did, I would love to. Please raise your hand and let me and pull out the receipts. I don't think anybody has a receipt that's going to say before the season started, Cascade is going to be 5-0. But here we are. So you got to give them some credit. So he's one of my 3 top coaches. My number 2 coach. This is in no particular order. This is my top 3 coach, no particular order. I got to give it up to Coach Lovelace. Coach Brian Lovelace, Heartland Zombies, 5-1. This is not a sexy team at all. There's nothing sexy about this team. I think that's what makes it phenomenal. Yeah, Bernard James, who's their de facto offensive guy. And really no one outside of him is even averaging double digits. But it doesn't matter. No one outside of him is averaging double-digit points, but it doesn't matter because they get it done by being scrappy and making timely buckets and playing solid defense. Not only that, but Benari and Barkley have been virtually quiet outside of playing basketball. The Hilario brothers have been no problem with them. Jaquan Johnson, who is a teapot who's waiting to explode at any point in time, in my opinion, for the most part, it's been okay. Outside of playing ball, he's averaging 8 points, 8 rebounds a game. These guys are playing. They've really adapted the nature of their coach, a fiery guy who lets his talking on the court, does the talking. Well, as a coach, he lets his play do the talking, his players do the talking, he lets coaching does the talking, and these guys deserve a lot of credit. I have him as 2. He's number 2 on my list of my top 3 coaches. And number 3 on my list for top 3 coaches, I know what you're going to think I'm going to say. I'm not going to say it before you think I'm going to say it, and I'm going to tell you why in a minute. Right now, I have to give it to Coach Heesh. I got to get a Coach Heesh. I'm not playing favorites. I ain't talking about who's the coolest coach. I'm not saying who's the coach you like the most. I'm not saying who the coach is the most in the threads. I don't care about none of that. I'm talking about coaching who getting the job done on the court right now. Coach Heesh for Gulf Coast Lockdown. Came in talking that cash money. I mean, for the 99 and 2000. Well, he is in New Orleans. I guess it makes sense. And he's backing it up. He has a very young team, and he's getting it done. His number 1 guy, offensively, Kai Killings, averaging 17 points a game, first year in SimWorld Prep. His starting lineup, besides Deontay Joyce, are first-year players in SimWorld Prep. He wasn't even there in the beginning of this Gulf Coast situation in the offseason. Yet and still, Gulf Coast is 5-1 in a very competitive southern region. You got to give credit where it's due, man. You got to give credit where it is what it is. I love Coach Drayton. He's not my top 3 right now. I love Coach Drees. He's not my top 3 right now. Can this stuff change? Of course, the whole thing is fluid. It's not going to change. Now I know someone's going to say, hold on, Blaze, what about the Originators? They 5-1. This is true. Originators are 5-1. But I say this. Are they 5-1 still if Cooper Flagg is not on the team? See, Cooper Flagg is that outlier. Cooper Flagg is a dog amongst all dogs. And I think Cooper Flagg would elevate any team, would be 5-1 if Cooper Flagg was on their team, by the way, right now. Well, maybe not any team. Maybe Middle East, it wouldn't help. But for the most part, for most of these teams, Cooper Flagg is he's going to go out there and win you the game most of the time. I'm not taking anything away from Coach Dodge. I'm not saying she's not a great coach. I would never say anything like that because that's a lie. I'm just saying I'm giving my top 3 coaches for guys and teams who you didn't see this coming. And the coach had to make this happen. The players had to buy in. It's easy to buy into a system when the number 1 guy is number 1 guy. Right? When Cooper Flagg is getting the ball and the rest of y'all get out the way, whether you buy in or not, Negro, he's scoring 30 points. I don't care if you don't buy in. You don't gotta buy into nothing that we got going on at the Originators. Cooper Flagg gonna get you 30 and he's gonna give you a chance to win every game and you can hate his guts. That's how good he is. Just like I wasn't riding no Coach Smith coattail last year with Showtime when he had Bronny James. It's Bronny James. The team was good, but I wasn't calling Coach Smith. No one said Coach Smith was a coach of a year. You got the best player on the planet. When coach for what's the dude from with the weird shaped head? LDO, Lace Darius Outlaw. He's a really good player. No one was calling his coach for coach of the year. Now I'm not saying you can't have a really good player and have coach of the year. I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is right now, my top 3 are the 3 coaches who has taken his team to levels and expectation that no one saw coming at the beginning of the year. You don't like it? Tough. All right, here we go. Number 3.
Number 3.
All right, we're coming up on playoff time for the NFL, and this is the time I really, really, really enjoy. My Texans have an opportunity to get in. They beat the Colts on Saturday, and they're in this thing, so we're going to hope that happens. But I'm really, 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 really excited because this is the time of year where I really, 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 really get to enjoy myself, because this is the time of year where the Cowboy fans take their grandeurs of delusion. They go all the way in, baby. This is the time of year where they push their chips all the way to the front, and I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it because this story ends this year like it's been ending every year for the last 3-4 years in a row. Quick history lesson. What was the Cowboys record last season before the playoffs started? I'll give you the answer. 12-5. Guess what the Cowboys record is right now going into the last game of the season? You guessed it. 11-5. They're probably going to win. They're probably going to end up 12-5 again. They're probably going to win the first round because they usually win the first round. And then they're going to get bounced and trounced in the divisional round like they always do. This is the same Cowboys, the same storyline, the same plot, the same script every single damn year. But every single damn year, the Cowboys fans go rapid and they act as if this is their year again. If I had $1 for every time the Cowboys fans said this is our year, I wouldn't need a job because they would pay me in spades. You get what I'm saying? Now, I hear the Eagles fans are just as annoying. I don't live in that area of town, so I can't speak on that. But if they're anything like the Cowboys fans, then I can understand how people feel, how they feel, right? So, Cowboys fans, this is not your year. This is just the same year. This is Groundhog Day. You guys have been living the same years for the last 3-4 years. It looks slightly different. You guys do a really good job of erasing your memories from the previous year, so I give you that. But this will end like all the other ones has been ending with a playoff loss. That's my time. Put it in the chat. Let's cuss and discuss. Good day. Oh, and don't forget, SimWorld Sports, where you can
See the game. Be the game.
Thank you, boo.